Shut up and sit down.
It's where the big boys play. SICW.
Welcome to Scrubbery Podcast, everybody. Episode 131. How's everybody going? Or doing? I'm going.
Pretty good. How you doing?
Looks like I'm white as a ghost. I need more color.
You do. You need something flashy, like some championship belts behind you, or some lights that flash, or something.
I do. I didn't even put up the backdrop. I just have when we went to the premieres and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm not doing too bad either. So, want to start off with a recap of what happened over the weekend. You know, Saturday we've been talking about the Shriners Collectors Fest for months, it seems like. And yes, you guys got your posters. It was Saturday, of course. It started at 9 for the early birds, and it was open to general admission at 10. I feel we had a great time. The morning of the show just seemed to go by so fast. So cool. I don't know about you guys, but I got to meet the artists, the comic book artists. Bill and Linda, I got to meet, and Emily Bauer, the voice actress we talked about, I got to meet her. And then Jay, the guy that works for Topps. I also got to meet this guy right here, this Bobby D fella. And
The Shriners champion.
The Shriners champion. So definitely a collector's piece in my collection is the poster that I got signed. Very cool. Yeah, it was everything that we talked about. You know, if you had a collection in He-Man, there's people there selling He-Man. If you wanted definitely Pokemon, my God, there's so many things of Pokemon there. But yeah, so we got the opportunity to float around a few and pick up some items. Definitely picked up some items for my collection. I don't know about you guys. I don't think Nate left the table too much.
Just because you guys kept leaving.
Well, I asked you if you were going to buy anything, and you said no. So that gave me an opportunity to leave the table again so I can pick up stuff for myself. But definitely want to give a shout out to Jason Shell for hooking us up, basically hooking us up with a great day because, we talked about the podcast coming. He was all game for it. We had some minor problems with going live, but we were able to go live with some of it and recorded some other film parts too. So I think you got some of it lined up to show the people.
We do. Right now what you're seeing is the Texans crotch with
That's the real moneymaker.
yeah. Go to his OnlyFans, the Big Texan OnlyFans page.
Hello guys, this is Big Texan. We're coming to you from the Shriners Collector Fest. It's at 12545 Fifi Road, St. Louis, Missouri. It's going on until 4 o'clock this evening. So you got plenty of time. So if you're into collecting anything, whether it be comic books, Pokemon, 3D printed items, there's action figures, anything that you can collect is here, and you can come on down and have a chance to buy it. Let's go ahead and just walk around this place and see what we can find. It was definitely cool. We were able to run into some old friends, especially old friends of the podcast.
There's one right there.
Yeah, there's one right there. That's Frank Murphy right there. All right.
And people did collect our cards there too.
Yeah, and we got some new Garbage Pail Kids coming pretty soon.
It's going. I was able to get mine going too. Turned out all right. Not as bad as your guys', but it still turned out all right.
Cards, Pokemon cards. We got comic books over here.
I looked for Constantine. Nobody had anything. That's why I wasn't going to buy anything.
You're into Star Wars. They have Star Wars here. Some more comic books. some Funko Pops.
They had sports cards. You like soccer, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I was
We got
there
you
for
cards.
Gonna take
I
you
was there
over.
for comic horror.
There's some horror there.
This is Jeremy Right House. He's actually got a new book. If you've seen the podcast with Jeremy on it, it was dealing with fans of professional wrestling. This time the book is about his dog. See if you've got a second. You got a second to talk? Jeremy, nice to see you again. So you've heard there's a new book on the horizon here. Can you talk to us about your new book?
Yeah, it's Richmond goes to the ballpark.
Sure, yeah, come on back.
Yeah, so it's a children's book. that I
He's like,
wrote.
sure, come on back. I can't stop you.
You're damn right.
She likes
I found my way.
baseball.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna jump him for a minute.
Together. And
Take his book for free.
idea to write a book
This
about
copy's mine. It will be signed with your blood.
Have you taken No. Would they?
Oh, he actually thought about helping me finish my book too, because I actually started my book before he started this one. But he said he worked on it too much trying to get it.
who gets into a hot dog,
You got to get it in a certain
which then in turn
spec for Amazon to actually carry it.
have to throw out the first pitch of the game.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah, but you mean him finishing his third before you finish your first.
yeah, a little bit of an adventure, but
Well, no,
Yeah.
he started his third one after I started my first one, and he finished his third
I
one.
think so far the reception has been great. People
Yeah, he's a pro.
I've had
That's true.
signings. 2 of them have been sellouts. I have one tomorrow and a couple more coming up before Christmas.
But it's very cool. So his book is about his dog and taking his dog to Busch Stadium and having him there for a Cardinals game.
Or,
Of course, they get into some mischief along the way, and he talks about it a little bit.
So this is the third book.
I like Mischief. She was a good wrestler for GCW.
From on our podcast, dealing with professional wrestling and fans, and how they got involved in the basics of wrestling, whether it be fans or workers. We had a couple of workers on there too. So that's awesome, Jeremy. Thank you for your time. I'm sure we might pass back by here, but awesome to have you.
Side
back.
note: as long as that beard's getting, I think you need to go Captain Lou Albano with it.
You put some rubber bands in it.
Can I do that? Contact Cindy Lauper.
We're actually going live.
You can get like a mini
Go.
steer skull with the horns to put in there.
We actually have a couple of boxes.
So this is kind of cool. This like whole section here is just nothing but authors. This lady and the next lady is just authors of books. So you had a good mix of everything.
Author services, I do sensitivity readings for authors who want to write ADHD, autistic characters. I also offer editing and
When Jake kept stepping backwards, and I had to walk over there and leave Bobby at the table to tell him to get closer.
I didn't even know you guys were walking around. I think I was in the restroom when you started.
Is there a way to contact you out here?
Oh,
yeah, there's a
there was one I did 30
There was
times. that
one point.
And what's the name
There was
again?
one point where you were behind me.
Yeah, I think it's after you make this turn up here. There were a lot of late night cervezas the night before, okay?
AKA Friday Night Smackdown at your party house.
That is true.
I write adult fantasy and poetry. And I've got books with my photography.
And speaking of dogs, she made Korean beef.
It's all over the place, kind of. The lazy
But yeah, so
Disclaimer,
yeah,
we
these
do
were
not
just,
endorse eating dogs on this podcast.
at least not over here in the U.S. You can get in trouble for that. But yeah, so these are just
When in Rome.
authors. But, definitely cool. I think the
Why
next
keep
guy
on watching himself?
is a very unique situation.
I skip those stands anyway because Mama D never taught us how to read. I need
Do
them
everything
books
on
with
visual
pictures.
cues.
Got some Lego parts. We got D&D.
So it's not this one. It's another guy that just right on the end of the corner there. This guy was selling the Yu-Gi-Oh cards and everything. This gentleman here is kind of unbelievable.
Well, wrestlers gotta have big hair. Pursue it. You're selling was it Pokemon?
Yeah, we just build Pokemon. So some sealed products. Buying in cards if somebody wants to seal.
Okay. So you got your own
So
website?
just like cryptocurrency, where everything sells, you can buy things with other objects. This gentleman actually owns, well, I don't know if he's the owner or if he's the manager, but he runs this automotive place, and they had a huge lobby. So instead of like letting it go to waste, he sells Pokemon cards out of the lobby. But what's really cool, and I'll let him explain it.
If you need an oil change, any tire work, any kind of car repairs, hit us up, get our rates. We're probably better than other people. On top of the fact, you can trade Pokemon. Can't beat this. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Get your oil change, get your tire fixed, get a Pokemon card.
Well, no, that's not it. Yeah, if you don't have any money, he'll actually trade his service for Pokemon cards. So if you got a high dollar Pokemon card, he will actually do the work on your car and trade for the Pokemon card. That's kind of unheard of. I mean,
Yeah, barter, the good old barter system.
yeah.
I say he's got the business, so he knows plenty of customers to sell them to.
Right.
So, and unfortunately,
Like it'd be hard for you or me to find a random customer, but I'm sure he's got a lot.
Got your next rate your coal truck. There you go. All right. Well, we're just gonna keep rolling it on. Thank you.
Thomas Brewett.
Oh, that other clown, I never saw him use those pens to juggle.
We have Linda Lester. She's an author of Amazing Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. She's in here signing autographs. We got her husband. Oh, let's are we in your way? I'm sorry.
Did you forget his name?
I did.
Thomas Brewett.
You know me with those chair shots. I blame it on a lot of things.
Yeah, your backup shouldn't come in here pretty quick.
I will never forget the address of this place because I said it so many times that day.
I just remember Fifi Road. Is that Nathan walking up?
You're into collecting anything.
Yeah. This is where I'm telling him to get closer.
I think I heard you tell him to get closer there.
And then I run away.
More comic books. Look at all this good stuff. Got some action figures.
Those were actually, he was selling autographed action figures. So he had a few wrestlers. They were signed.
545 PP Road, St. Louis, Missouri.
What's that address again?
54555.
I know a lot of people are in the Hot Wheels too.
You forgot the 12545.
Again, I just remember.
More than the scale of Hot Wheels too.
But yeah, very cool. It was a nice setup. It was one level. Of course, this is his third show.
It's busy, but remember, it goes to 4 o'clock, so you got plenty of time.
And he's hoping to expand it on the next one, which we found out is going to be in June. So hopefully we get on the bill again. It was a great time, and I think we would be better prepared for the lack of internet sometimes that the building had. Because when you're in the middle of the floor, the internet was so spotty that it would kick you out. But as long as we were over at the table, it seemed like it was working. So kind of know a few more things about the building, so I think it'll be better off next time around. But yeah, so this is all walks of life in that building.
Cards. Oh look, Bobby D finally decided to I didn't know we were going live right now. We're live and in the house.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Shriners Collectors Fest. Look, if you want
I've got the address.
I can tell you in this video, the appeal to the ladies just went skyrocket.
It's probably because that
tuck it to the corner here.
cut off shirt that you're wearing with those sleeves.
I'm the Big Texan. We're going
Lost
live.
him in a poker game.
Nice to meet you. Are you on Facebook or are you on
We are on Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace? How can they pick up some of these wonderful items if they can't make it down here tonight?
Just go on Facebook Marketplace and look up Shotwork.
So I was just trying to go around and try to get information from some of these people. It's always good to talk to them. And there was one guy that I talked to for probably about an hour.
Anything that you can
They had some
collect,
pretty cool cars.
You're probably going to find it here. So come on down. 1254. I get this confused. 545 Fifi Road, St. Louis, Missouri.
Everybody was selling Pokemon, all at different prices, same cards, wildly different prices.
Yes, definitely. How you doing? My name's the Big Texan. This is Bobby D. We're from the Squared Ring Podcast. Jason just kind of brought us in. We're going live, just trying to get some people in. So you're selling Pokemon? Again, another Pokemon dealer. So if you're into Pokemon, come on down. A wide variety of items.
That almost seemed a little bit disappointing. Wow, another Pokemon dealer. That poor lady, look at her face. She's like, you just touched my heart.
Yeah, I mean, we own a tattoo shop as well. So we own a
Yeah,
silver
see,
tattoo.
one's a mechanic, one's a tattoo shop artist. You know,
I
it's
would have
crazy.
thought you would have jumped over that because, like, I've heard you talk to tattoo people for like an hour.
Oh, is that Hogan?
You did say you wanted to get your GNR tattoo retouched.
I did buy that card and the card next to it.
You went back and got it, yeah.
Yep. If you guys didn't catch it, it was actually the Garbage Pail Kids, their version of Hulk Hogan.
Look at all this. There's what I like right there.
There you go.
What's those prices? Those prices are pretty damn cheap. Pretty damn reasonable.
And then Ozzy Osbourne came with it.
This right here is the guy who was selling the He-Man, and man, his prices were great. It's like 10, 15 bucks.
This is just a cool place to hang out.
Couldn't beat that one.
You're a collector of anything. Like
The Castle of Grayskull for what, $650. I was like, yeah, no way.
Well, those,
Printing is great. I'm not a master.
that was
of
the
it. I haven't
original
even tried.
Castle Grayskull too, and it was in the box. So you got to add all that stuff in. 'Cause, even if it's open, if you have the box, man, that just dramatically raises the price of everything.
And if you saw that table that Jim was just pointing at, him and Bobby bought that whole table out.
Track. And there's actually races where you can win trophies.
I had them already displayed, but this is one of the things I picked up from that 3D table.
But
Very cool
Take the
Darth
helmet off,
Vader
that's
here.
the cool part.
Helmet comes off. He's got his cape, and his lightsaber is huge.
He ain't bragging.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
But here's the second item I picked up from him. Boba Fett. Very cool. Came with a gun, but these are all Lego inspired ones. And it's just amazing what 3D printers can do nowadays.
And that guy was super nice too. So I started talking to him because my middle boy is in a 3D printing club, and we just started talking about 3D printing and different printers that he uses currently and that he started with. And he is giving me names of where he gets some of the plans for the prints that he does.
Do you believe it?
He's very open, like some of those you would think you'd want to keep as a trade secret, and he was very open and cool about everything.
I think you can do it. He's not that.
But yeah, it was a very cool time, and definitely want to thank Jason for inviting
That guy
us
right there.
part of it. Yeah, this was the guy that was across from our table, and I was just staring at those, and Bobby was staring at some.
and I just go
Eventually, we were buying everything.
bring printers and sell them all.
Except for the big old helmets. I don't think either of us came home with a big helmet.
No.
Thank you.
But they
Yeah,
did look good.
I sold mine too.
And most of those for him sold. I think
They love that I 3D print. So.
only one didn't, I believe.
Rubber duck. That's the one that keeps catching me. Like, that thing is awesome.
Thank you. It's so far, I think my favorite's Duckzilla, but I grew up on
Spoiler
those.
alert, Bobby did get the rubber ducks.
But my bestseller of everything.
Got a Pennywise, a Scream, a Batman, and a Joker.
Thank you. That was kind of an oops one too. But I saw the I don't know if you watched the show. So I saw the previews for the next season. I was like, well, I can turn this into, I can fix this. And I was like, there we go. And now that's the one I got more confidence on than the adult one. Which is funny. I picked on her because I'm like, you know how much more work goes in the other one.
All right, so besides places like this, conventions, again, we're at the Shriners Collectors Fest. Goes on until 4 o'clock. But is there a way that they can reach you and buy some of this?
Yeah, Max 3D Creations on Facebook. And if you're local to the region, Fredericktown, Missouri is where I'm located. I have a little booth set up in a place called Beach Bums Tanning.
Beach Bums Tanning. Oh,
And you get a little toothless there.
well, nice to meet you. You guys, come on down, check out his booth.
Thank you.
I only knew that because the week before I just watched the live action How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh yeah.
That's who Toothless is. The
Yeah.
dragon.
I have a few of the dragons I picked up just because I thought the dragons looked pretty cool. Have yet to see. I think there's like 2 of them now, right?
I think there's 2 animated ones and 1 live action. I've only seen the live action.
Okay, I've not seen any of them. I just like the toys. The dragons are all pretty cool and different colors, and so I picked up quite a few. But yeah, it was a great time. I think for our first time, going to a collector's fest or a Comic-Con or however you want to describe it. I think there's some things we know now that we didn't know, and that we'll just be better off next time. But all in all, I think we had a good time. I think the last hour or so, maybe the last 2 hours, kind of slowed down where I guess the people ran its course. And so the last couple hours was like dragging a little bit, but definitely a cool time. And like I said, he's going to do another one in June. So, of course, we'll get you all the details about that and let you guys know if we're going to be on it or not. But either way, I'll probably be there, just, going through, picking up some more of my collection. But definitely a cool time. You guys agree? You guys had a good time doing it?
Good time. I said we didn't even get in that video, like the 50 whatever Star Wars Guild. Like their costumes were legit, and there was a lot of cool stuff.
Was there, and then the Ghostbusters were there, and we could have, if we thought about it, we should have like picked them against each other, put them against each other, because there's 2 different organizations of Ghostbusters, and we could have just like, oh, yours is better, and then Bobby go over to the other one, oh, yours is better, and then start a war. That would have been great.
I suggested, because there was a Batman and a Superman there hanging out with Santa, that you go push them out of your way and sit on Santa's lap for an interview.
Well, I and Nate can have my back on this. I seen Batman without his mask on.
Yeah, he did not look like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he did.
I think he was an imposter.
I called him out on it, and he did not like that at all.
He did not look. The way the guy drove in with his music blaring and everything, he didn't look like he liked to have fun anyway. He looked like he felt that he was above people.
That's funny. True, but funny.
Like a billionaire playboy, like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, Jason came and asked me if we were going to go out and video Batman's car. And I told him, I go, nah, it's no.
From like every time I looked over there, he never went out to his car. He was standing inside by Santa the whole time.
Yeah. But
like we go fill the car with nobody there to rev it up or anything, I guess.
if it was the old school, the '60s Batmobile, man, I would be having my pictures taken with it. But it was a car that he was slowly changing into a version of the Batmobile, so I wasn't really interested in it. But
like I said, he never even went out there to buy it. If
right.
he was even buy it, that would have been different. Instead, it was just like, hey, you want to go film a car in the parking lot?
Anyhow, let's move on. We had a great episode of Raw last night. WWE put out all the stops. There was so many special guests. I'm just going to hit the highlights, but the whole episode was actually pretty good. The first thing, of course, it was John Cena's last Monday Night Raw, and he told the audience that he was going to have a match. He's on the mic talking, and then out comes Dominic Mysterio, and so Dominic, claims he wants to have a rematch, that he wants a chance to get his title back, that he was just lucky that last week it was in John Cena's hometown, his fans, his crowd behind him and everything, and that he had Triple H in his back pocket, and that he wanted a rematch. So John Cena said, all right, if you're feeling froggy, let's do it right now. And of course, Dom being, wise, was probably the only time I said that. He said, no, I'm not doing it tonight. We're going to do it at Survivor Series in my backyard with my fans. So that was already like letting us know, because John Cena's only got 2 more matches. So we already know one of his matches is going to be against Dominic Mysterio at Survivor Series.
And deservedly so. He's got a rematch clause.
True. December 13th is his last day. So I just imagine whoever wins this tournament that they're doing right now for John Cena, whoever wins this tournament, that will be the last guy to wrestle John Cena. But speaking of this tournament, one of the special guests was a guy who was set up in the tournament, who hasn't been in WWE in a couple years, but was a former 2-time champion. And they went against Solo Sikoa. I probably butchered, Sikoa. And that was Dolph Ziggler. So last week we had Matt Cardona come back as what was his name? What was
Zack
his name?
Ryder.
Zack Ryder. So last week we had Zack Ryder come back. This time we had Dolph Ziggler, which is also Nick Nemeth. Of course, they're both in TNA right now, so you get a little crossover. But both of them, last week with Matt Cardona, he got a lot of pop from the crowd. Nick Nemeth was just the same. And I think Nick Nemeth, man, the one good thing about Dolph Ziggler or Nick Nemeth is that guy performs.
I'm going to say, the dude doesn't have a bad match.
No, he doesn't. And there's already some spots that you can see on the highlights on YouTube. Because the thing about Dolph is, even when he is getting his ass handed to him, he looks like he's really getting beat down. He is everyone talks about Cowboy Bob Orton, about how he can make anyone look good. That is Dolph Ziggler too. You can think that you think that he can get on top and beat anyone, but at the same time, when he's getting his butt handed to him, he makes that guy look great too. So all around, he's a great guy, and he went against Solo. Didn't get the W, just like Matt Cardona didn't get the W, but it was still nice to see them bring him back. He's a former 2-time world champion, and the crowd definitely missed him. I didn't know Dolph was going to be coming back, because Dolph had done so many interviews saying that he was done with WWE, that he was going to be TNA only unless there was a way for him to help promote TNA at a WWE show, and that's exactly what happened. They found a way for him to do it. It was a great match. Again, the whole night was great. I'm actually going to backtrack you. So the John Cena versus Dominic, that little stare down turned into a 6-man. Dominic's little fellows, JD and what's the other guy's name? Finn Balor came down to the ring like they were going to jump John Cena, and actually, truly, they did. But Sheamus comes running down to the ring to help John Cena. But at that point, it was already 3-on-1, and then it was 3-on-1 again because John Cena was already down, so all three of them just attacked Sheamus. But to help Sheamus, Rey Mysterio comes down, and so that turns into a 6-man tag. And it had its moments. I mean, the whole match was good. It was basically giving the fans exactly what they expected and what they wanted. You know, Sheamus is known for getting his opponent up and under the ropes and then delivering the 10, they're not chops, they're like forearms to the guy's chest area. All three of them. Ray had Dominic, Sheamus had one of them, and John Cena had one, and all three of them got the 10 chops in. The 619 happened for Ray. John Cena all three of them did the "You Can't See Me" shuffle and hit their. So I mean, it was like a highlight reel of John Cena's movesets with Rey Mysterio and Sheamus being able to capitalize with it as well. Of course, they were the victors that night. And
I don't know why Rey Mysterio can't just leave Dominic alone. Like, he's not relevant anymore. Dominic took over. Just fade off.
Oh, damn. Well, I mean, Ray's not even his real dad, so he's probably still a little pissed off about it. So
that's probably all it is Ray's just a little jealous of that. He's like, I wanted to be able to ride your coattails, and now I can't.
Right. Let's see here. Maxine Dupree went against Becky Lynch, and we talked about on the podcast that Maxine Dupree is becoming really good at wrestling. You know, for the longest time, she was just the manager, the chauffeur type escort person, you know, escorting the wrestlers to the ring. But now she's been showing that she can wrestle. And last week, she beat Becky Lynch. And of course, it wasn't the title wasn't on the line. Well, last night the title was on the line, and she beat her again. A little bit of help per se from AJ Lee. She came down. So Maxine is now the new. I want to say it's the Intercontinental Champion, the Women's Intercontinental Champion, which gives her a nice push. And at the same time, it still leaves Becky and AJ Lee to go at it in the future, since AJ helped Maxine win. So that was a very good match too. Let's see here. And then, I mean, the main event, like I said, I'm just stopping on the highlights. But the main event last night really started off again, just a confrontation. It was just like a verbal assault. Turned physical. So CM Punk was in the ring, of course, on the microphone, and they're gearing up for Survivor Series, which is, 5-on-5. So you kind of knew that Cody Rhodes was going to come out, and you kind of knew that the Usos, but then you had Paul's little fraction, right now with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They just had Logan Paul join the group. And then last week they had Drew McIntyre join the group. So right there is 4-on-4. And they just went at it, just beating the crap out of each other. It wasn't technically a match. It just ended up being a brawl. And then just as CM Punk and everyone was getting the best of the heels, out comes Brock Lesnar. So he was another surprise person that showed up. And Brock Lesnar just, laid out CM Punk and laid out the Usos. But someone else's music hit, and it was Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns comes out. Now, as I seen Roman Reigns coming out, the thought occurred to me that Roman Reigns is one of those guys that has victories over Brock Lesnar. So it makes sense for Roman Reigns to come back out and be part of this group. So Roman Reigns and Brock was nose to nose, and then Brock went to, of course, hit Roman. Roman ducked it, hit the ropes, came back with the Superman punch, knocked Brock Lesnar out of the ring. And then at that point, the cameras went off the air. Roman Reigns on top, Brock Lesnar is, looking back. But a lot of fans, and I think even WWE, kept it going on YouTube for a little bit. And it just all went to hell. Brock Lesnar left, but the other guys stayed and played. And there were spots where Cody Rhodes had a cane and he was smacking people with it. It just was. It sent the fans home happy. Just a big old brawl at the end. But the whole show was really good. Gunther had a good match last night as well. It was good to have Gunther back. There's rumors that they think that he's going to be the guy who wins the tournament to go against John Cena in his last match. Honestly, I don't think. It probably would be a good match, but kind of along the lines of what Bobby was saying, that John Cena needs to have a match with someone newer in the business to kind of help propel them. I think it would have been fine with me if Dominic would have been the last guy instead of the second to last guy, because I think that would just propel Dominic even higher in the rankings of WWE. But very good show. If you haven't caught it, I would say go back to Netflix and watch it, because it was a very good show. Moving on to TNA, I just want to talk about really one match that the big thing with TNA is they just crowned Mike Santana as their champion less than 30 days ago. And then they already had him lose. So I don't know if, sometimes it's politics, sometimes it's bad behavior, but it was set up. It was Mike Santana versus Ryan Namath, Nick Namath's brother, who's also in TNA. It was a regular wrestling match, but then a crossover from the NXT, WWE's NXT. A whole group of people came out, interfered in the match, and then Frankie Kazarian actually had what they call a call your shot contract, which is basically the Money in the Bank briefcase. You can just come down to the ring, call it, say, and the match starts over with that. And that's what happened. So Frankie came down, handed in the contract. So now is a match between Mike Santana and Frankie. Frankie ended up being Mike and becoming the new TNA heavyweight champion. But I don't know if it's just me and the internet keyboard warriors that are wondering, why would you give Santana the belt just to carry for less than 30 days, just to have Frankie go over on him. So again,
transitional champion's been around for a long time.
Yeah, but everyone was giving TNA so much publicity when Santana won it, because Santana, I wouldn't say he was original from the old TNA days, but he was on TNA back then. But he wasn't like an AJ Styles. He was like a newbie in the wrestling world when he first started with TNA.
Can't the same thing be said about Kazarian?
He could, but at least Frankie was able to win a lot of belts during his tenure there, where this was this kid's first, heavyweight championship reign, and it only lasted less than 30 days. So I don't know. A lot of people are speculating that Santana was not the best behind stage type of guy. So I don't know if back politics had anything to do with it, but as of now, Frankie is now your TNA World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, how does TNA schedule their matches? Because TKO CEO said we don't schedule matches based on what the people like, but based on where we want the story to go. So how does TNA do it?
Well, so right now they are so close to signing a new TV deal with another company because their TV
For the
contract
record,
expires.
this is Kazarian's first heavyweight championship as well.
Yeah, but he's won other ones. He was a constant
Oh.
X division champion. He was
And
a
tag.
champion. Yeah.
So
So
like first heavyweight.
and you know, for the record, Frankie, and Samoan Joe, and John Cena technically all started together in California. So they've been all doing it over 20 years.
They used to have that on a VHS tape.
I have it on a DVD. I still have it. It's different drills that them as a team was trying to teach, and it's a very good DVD too. But yeah, so it's in the air. I'm sure it'll come out sooner or later because he just got his action figure made with the belt too. So, you know, normally they don't do all this publicity for you. Give you new t-shirts, new figure with the belt and everything, and then all of a sudden you lose the belt. You know, that's kind of weird. I don't know how TNA does their stuff for their bookings, but I do know they're trying to become more exciting because they're hoping that they land this TV deal and will actually establish them as, I still say that they're like the third biggest wrestling company. But that third level is so close to fourth and fifth, you know, because I would say TNA, GCW, NWA, they're all hanging in there. Of course, AEW is number 2, and then of course WWE is not going anywhere, so they're maintaining that number 1 spot. But speaking of AEW, they actually went on the record talking about pricing. It was brought to Tony Khan's. Tony Khan had an interview after one of the shows, and they were talking to him about, what do you think about WWE's pricing? Is it crazy? Is AEW going to do the same? And Tony Khan, I'm so proud of him. This is probably one of the only times too. But he said that no, he's keeping his company for the families. He's keeping the prices the same. He's going to make sure there's $20 tickets, $30 tickets. He goes, don't get me wrong, you know, ringside might cost you a lot more, but I still want to make sure families can get in the door, that it's a family product, and he wants everyone in. So $20 tickets, $30 tickets, he says that is not going away. So,
and looking at the stands at the last show I went to, it shouldn't go away because they still don't sell those.
Well, and you know, it's
now, if he's smart and they sustain it, while WWE keeps gouging, they will probably start filling their stands more from that region alone.
Yeah, and you know, WWE, the higher ups in the TKO group, already announced that they're not planning on lowering their prices. That they still feel that there's meat on the bone for them to go higher. And to me, that's just stupid. Even if that's the case, I wouldn't be telling the world that, hey, I'm going to raise the prices even higher. You think they're high now? Just wait. You know, I would be keeping that shit to myself. But evidently, they don't care. They're loud and proud with what the direction the company's going.
Not only that, they said we're going to do it and you're going to like it. And I know you're stupid. You're going to pay for it.
Well, but that's not the case. The last couple shows, it's actually been showcased that WWE is not filling their arenas anymore. You know, we actually spoke about it in a earlier podcast that a Friday Night SmackDown. I forgot which city they were in, but they didn't fill that arena, and they did Monday night, but that was a special John Cena's last Monday Night Raw, so it was packed yesterday. But even Monday Night Raws have not been filled. So it might slowly start creeping to bite them in the ass, and I hope it does, because that's going to be the only way that they will consider lowering their ticket prices.
Their big problem is I think they look at it like UFC. where think of it like baseball and NFL, the MLB and NFL. There's 30 something games in the MLB. That's why you have $20 tickets, because you're trying to sell a lot more than there's a lot more Raws than UFCs with the
Right.
2 weekly shows. So you have to bring those prices down because you're not going to sell $1,000 tickets to the same people over and over and over and over.
The only thing I can think of is if the people in the U.S. wisen up and stop going, that's just going to convince them to take it overseas even more. You know, they've already got a few shows they've got booked overseas, and they just keep adding more. You know, so they're not
because again, it's new to those guys over there,
right.
so it's not selling to the same people over and over. And again, with them comparing it to like UFC, if you watch a UFC event, it's not families there.
Right.
Which is what wrestling is built on.
Yeah, I mean, wrestling's been around since the Stone Age.
I'm saying, like, even back to the fair days and stuff, it was a family went to the fair and the circus, not just businessmen and rich party guys. And
right.
Yeah, but even the fair shows are getting overpriced. What do you need to
I'm
watch
talking about wrestling at the fairs back in the day.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about them doing it now. And even those are $500.
Yeah, but hopefully it bites them in the ass. They have to lower the tickets, or AEW gets better storylines and be able to pull people into their product. I mean, to me, they got the people there, but they need to stop. They need to stop just doing dream matches and actually doing storylines to get the people hooked. That's what they're missing. You know, just a few of their people have got storylines that they create themselves, and that's the thing about AEW is the wrestlers have more creative control over their matches, which puts a damper on why you have a match in the first place.
As long as we're mentioning great storylines, have we mentioned on here that Vince Russo is employed again?
Yes. So was it Juggalo Championship Wrestling that Vince Russo is now
head writer
for? So again, the room for third place is available to anyone. You know, I say TNA is the closest, just because they got a good TV deal. But Juggalo has a YouTube channel that they show all their shows on. OVW is, you know, we talked about them. They are doing their pay-per-views for free now. Well, starting next year, it's going to be for free. And their Thursday shows are already on YouTube for free. So everyone's racing to the third place.
Whoa. Let's throw the best quality product in there. Maybe not the most dollars behind it, but the best quality is SICW every Sunday night on YouTube.
That's true. And speaking of that, we'll throw this in here because I forgot to talk about it in the beginning. We have a show coming up. I mean, we got a holiday break here for Thanksgiving, but December 6th is our next show. It's at the Swansea Firehouse 2. I guess they have 2 firehouses in Swansea, so it's Firehouse 2.
There's one on 159. This is the one by Wolf Branch Middle School.
But December 6th, you know, it's going to be headlined by the returning Flash Flanagan. He's going to take on Attila Khan. We kind of brushed on this subject at the Shriners Fest, that Flanagan is not getting an easy return match. You know, it's not like he's returning and facing someone so he can get an easy victory, get a pop by the audience and everything. No, he's going right after the bounty hunter, Attila Khan. You know, that's going to be a great match. And I'm interested to see Flash Flanagan. You know, it's been so long since we had him in. And he's still been working around the Indiana state, you know, areas and showing up in Kentucky and stuff like that. But we haven't seen him. So it'll be interesting to see what goes down. You know, and I know I'm going to be there. Bobby D is going to be there. Gary Jackson is a staple there. So you're going to see the greats of SICW.
Attila Khan will be there.
Well, you know, we already mentioned Attila. But yeah, so December 6th, Swansea Firehouse, number 2. And everything's the same. Doors open at 6, show starts at 7. Definitely come enjoy some Christmas type atmosphere, because normally Santa Claus is there during our December show, so you can get some pictures taken. And they normally have some great food there. Beast did it a couple times, and then they had another barbecue stand place do it. So interested to see who they bring in to cater, because it's always good food. Of course, the beer is always cold. You know how firemen like to drink beer. It's good. But definitely a place to come. So, and we haven't been there in a couple of years. So hopefully we can get a steady rotation of this one back in there, because man, the Firehouse used to bring in some bangers. They brought in Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. They brought in the Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson. And then
Scorpio.
Yeah, he was the last one. That was the last show we did there. Too Cold Scorpio was there. So hopefully we can get in that rotation again where they invite us out every year. But definitely SICW, go to sicw.org for all the information. Next year's dates are already posted on there, so you can kind of get a heads up of what shows and where. So definitely go there. And it's a new website, so they got more of our bios on there and some pictures, a little bit more updated. So appreciate that, because it was a little old, so we're jumping into the 21st century, or the 22nd century, however you want to say it nowadays. But I think that's
I want to ask you a question real quick, Jim.
Sure.
You talked about AEW, TNA, OVW, SICW, but you didn't mention NWA anywhere. Where did they rank on your list? Because you didn't put them in the top 3 or 4 or 5.
Well, I said they're in the running, because they're like,
well, you take all those other promotions combined, they still don't have as many titles as NWA.
Well, so they actually, NWA did reach out to AEW, and there are some spots where they had some NWA guys come to AEW and do some dark matches and stuff. So I don't know if in the future NWA is going to be like TNA for WWE. So maybe NWA is going to be, connected to AEW for a while. And that would probably be a smart thing, because, AEW doesn't have a training facility, doesn't have like a second brand like an NXT.
Actually, that would be really, really smart of Tony, because Billy has NWA set up, bringing in a farm system from every independent organization.
Right.
Tony could use NWA and use Billy's money to bring up that farm system. He doesn't have to do a training facility. Doesn't have to have the expenditure. Billy's doing it.
And
so it's really smart to do that.
It actually, this started with a big argument between NWA and AEW, because AEW announced a new belt. They announced a national title, and that pissed off the NWA, because they're the national, it's in their fucking name. And so they got some arguments, some words going, of course, that's the internet, but then they worked it out, and then they started, having some of their guys on the shows. So hopefully it works out. I still think the NWA is so tied with GCW and OVW. There's so many people gunning for the 3rd slot, which is great for wrestlers and is great for wrestling fans. That's what we need. WWE is still trying to bury AEW anytime they get a chance to run on the same day as AEW. They're going to, because they're going to try to put them out of business. Because if you look at it, if WWE puts AEW out of business, they don't have to negotiate contracts. It's no, you're going to work for us for this amount, or you can go work the indies, your choice. Right now, they'd be like, AEW's offering me this amount. You're going to have to top that if you want me to work here. And WWE don't want the negotiations like that. They would just prefer to this is what we're going to pay you. Do you want it or not? So as long as there's more promotions and it keeps getting stronger, like I said, a lot of them are shooting for that third place. It's just going to be better for the wrestlers. And if you're a fan of wrestling, more wrestling to watch, more wrestling for people to find their niche. And I say that because some people like watching hardcore, and you have that with the Juggalos, and you got that with GCW. Some people like watching pure wrestling, which AEW has a lot of that. But they also kind of venture out and do that hardcore shit too. But
A lot of poopy floppy.
it's a lot of mix right now, and so if you're a wrestling fan, you should be able to find what you prefer and be able to watch it, because it looks like everyone's getting TV or everyone's getting YouTube. And I've seen on this podcast Gary V. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but he is a very big speaker, talks about social media, talks about a lot of things, but he has come out and said that YouTube is right there when it comes to like TV. You know, it's a lot more people are going to YouTube and watching their usual shows and their daily TV versus going to like you know, a cable network or Peacock or some sort of app. You know, people are going to YouTube now.
Well, YouTube did bully Disney into acquiescing to their demand. So
Yeah, so it's going to be, it's all good for wrestling. I think everyone talked about 2025 being good for wrestling. I think that's going to carry over into 2026. Now, AEW, I think, just needs to get some writers in there, and you know, that would help Tony Khan out a lot too, because he's trying to do it all by himself. I think it's going to burn him out, and their product's going to get worse if they don't change the shit up a little bit. You know, it's great having wrestlers being able to control more of their matches, but I think there needs to be some sort of storyline to pull the audience in and keep them interested. And then you'll see their houses getting filled again. You know, instead of the, hey, this guy's debuting today, you know, and then that day's attendance being crazy big, but then that blows over and you don't come back and watch the product. You know, they need to have that storyline to get them hooked, and then, you know, you can just be like WWE, you know, having the people consistently fill your arenas and watch your TV programs.
I heard a guy a couple times say the money's in the chase, and that's what they're missing.
Right.
There's no chase. There's nothing like it. It's just throw these guys in there.
Yep. All right. So that's the end of the news. I think it's time for my favorite time. Bobby, I don't know, did you get a box again since we seen you last?
Not till December.
Okay. Did you have any?
yeah, but wait,
tips
on our last podcast, we promised people that Bobby would have some information about that show in Chicago.
I didn't want to bring that up because I don't think he's got it ready.
I'm going to record it with my son tomorrow, hopefully.
All right.
Okay, so if anybody asks, that's why I asked that.
So I will take full on responsibility for it. Like last week, I started coaching Althoff, or East, sorry. My son wrestles for Althoff, and I'm trying to run an organization, little league organization of the Little Devils with singlets and websites, and our financial guy quit. So trying to catch all that up. So like, it's been everywhere lately.
Now, let me just ask, is that like a problem there where you're a coach to a rival school and your son is playing on?
No, we don't go against each other anyway, but if we did, I would just step back from that match. I'm not going to coach against him.
Okay. All right. All good. All right. Do you have anything that you picked up that you want to showcase?
I mean, I could show him again. I just got those 3 cards right now that I picked
Well,
up
and
at the
the other stuff you picked up on, you know, on Saturday.
I don't have that in front of me. But I got my Ozzy Osbourne card. What do they call him on here? Rockin' Rick. Got WrestleMania. and then it's the same card, but it's labeled Hack Hogan instead.
Yeah. And that's how Garbage Pail Kids work. You know, it's most of the time it's the same card, like Adam Bomb, and they just change his name but keep the picture the same. And I guess it goes off a series. Like series 1 was Adam Bomb, series 2 was a different name, but still a cool pickup. I looked at those. I just didn't want to spend the money on them. Otherwise, if I could have found them cheaper, I probably would have. So I'm going to go ahead.
They were virtually the same price as what they were selling on eBay as well. So
yeah, which is great.
I did look that up, and I mean, you get it instantaneous instead of waiting.
Right, that's true, and you don't have to pay shipping, so probably a very smart thing. I'm going to start off with a gift. So Frank Murphy is a friend of the podcast, friend of SICW, friend of ours.
Hi, Frank.
He does a little shopping for me on the side where he'll hit me up and say, hey, do you have this? I'm here. I can pick it up for you. And he's done it on a couple occasions for me. This time he hit me up because he's seen a Dennis Rodman at a place.
I saw that one. I was a little jealous. Frank, you find the WCW stuff, reach out my way.
Well, I had him. It was a 2-pack of him and Hogan. It was a horrible looking Hogan, but I never took him out of the package. But it was Dennis Rodman, Hulk Hogan when he had the biker helmet on. Really shitty looking figure. But it's there's 2 versions of Dennis Rodman. Eventually he got released with the figure by himself. Different hair color than this one.
I think that's the one that I used to have growing up. I think it was red hair and silver pants.
Yeah. So very cool figure, but he also shot me more pictures, and I only took 2 more. Got a Dustin Rhodes. I think it's just a cool, figure. This is, of course, from AEW when he was doing the face paint like this. And then I picked up an old school CM Punk. This was from his ECW days, or Ring of Honor, or OVW. He wore the same stuff for the first few years going through the system. This is a newer figure, though. It's an Ultimate, but I just like the style. I have a few CM Punks that was given to me by my son when he quit collecting, but he didn't have a style like this. So that was the very first things that I got. And of course, I showed off the Darth Vader and the other guy, which is very cool 3D printed stuff. Definitely watch the podcast back to get his name and his company, because you can get him on Facebook Marketplace. My old tag team partner was there, Tony. Tony did me dirty, and at the same time did me good, because I seen this on Facebook, but it was like,
did you dirty. He called me Jimmy D.
Well, yeah, that's not dirty. He done threw you under the fucking bus and ran you over a few times.
I'm the only one he didn't do dirty because he didn't even acknowledge my presence.
He probably, because he doesn't know you, where he had history with me and Bobby. But I seen this on Facebook Marketplace, and it was like a 2-hour drive, so I didn't want to go get it. But the guy evidently took the 2-hour drive and was selling at the Shriners Collectors Fest. Of course, Tony found it first, so he bought it for $20 and rubbed it in my face and told me I can have it for $30. So I fucking did it. But it is a very cool, one-of-a-kind Macho Man figure and a vehicle for him. This was the WWE days, but very cool. I never see this little statue of the Macho Man. That's what actually drew me to it. I will never open it. It'll just probably sit and displayed like this because it's an awesome display piece. A couple small pickups. I have like flashbacks of being a kid eating these cereals when they came out during Halloween. So I picked up a Count Chocolata. I think that's his name. I picked up a Cookie Crisp figure, stuffed animal. It's still in the bag, so I don't know if I'm going to open it or not, because it still talks all the stuff about Cookie Crisp. And then picked up Lucky from Lucky Charms. So just little things here and there.
I thought I saw Booberry there too. You didn't get Booberry?
Well, it wasn't like this type of plush. Blueberry was an action figure, and yes, I do need Blueberry because I got the Count
Booberry
in that action figure form, but I don't have that one. But the Count I got for like $10, so I know if I hold and just wait my turn, I can probably find that one for $10 too. I think he wanted 25 for it. And that's dealing with toys. You can't have that urge just to get it because you see it. Sometimes you have to, because if it's something that you never see, you probably won't see it again. So you got to have that. But when it's objects that you know will come back around and you can probably find it cheaper, my suggestion is wait, get it cheaper, and then be proud that you have it then. So the final thing I'm going to show you, it's 4 pieces, but I went through my wrestling collection, some of it that I picked up through the years, some of it my son Dylan gave me because he got out of wrestling and gave me all his figures that I bought him, you know, as he was a kid. I went through them all because I want to, besides me having too many, there's a lot that he gave me that like don't hold no significant value to me, because I'm more of an old school Macho Man, Andre the Giant type 80s characters, unless it's special moments, you know, figures, or if I have a special moment with the figure, with the guy, like Gunther. Never had any Gunther figures before. Was able to meet him. He was a great guy, had a great conversation, got his autograph. So I went out and got one of his figures just so I can remember, hey, he was a cool dude. So I have a huge box, probably about 50 wrestlers that I'm going to bring to the next show, loose wrestlers, because now I'm going to take a page out of our wrestling. And when I say that, I mean it as quality over quantity. We say it all the time in the wrestling world. You want to have quality matches instead of looking at the quantity of matches that you have. And I'm going to take that and do it to my collection. You know, so my quality would be my LJNs, my Hasbros, the ones that mean the most to me. But I'm going to start on different characters and their first ever wrestling figures. So I started this. It's an eBay thing because you can't buy them now because these figures are like 20, 24 years old. But the first one I picked up is the very first figure of Randy Orton. Of course, this looks like a young Randy Orton. It's his old gear. This is the very first figure he ever had in the WWE. This is the Ruthless Aggression Series 1. And you'll be surprised how many rookies started with Ruthless Aggression Series 1 and Series 2. So you had Randy Orton, came with a trash can, but very cool figure, very first figure. So it's, to me, it's more valuable than the other 50 Randy Ortons that are out there on the market. Now, I went as far as trying to find them loose and find them on the card. So I found, and these aren't cheap. I mean, they're like this one, I think set me back $30, which is really good because his was the cheapest one out of the bunch. So this is Randy Orton in the package. The package has a little minor dings on it, but for the most part, it's very good. The other rookie guy from Series 1 is Brock Lesnar. So this one cost me a little bit more. But again, it's Brock Lesnar, his very first figure, which means more to me than the other 100 freaking Brock Lesnars that are out there. Again, the Ruthless Aggression Series 1. I'm not going to say how much I paid for that one. But the other rookie from Series 1, very first figure ever made, this is the very first John Cena. He's got those purple shorts. He's got black boots. They redid this figure this year, I think, and they put him in the correct outfit. But John Cena is the one that started the ruthless aggression era. Kurt Angle was in the middle of the ring. He was given an open challenge to anyone, and John Cena came out in this gear, but just a different color. It was more like an orange, and challenged Kurt Angle to a match and smacked the piss out of him. And of course, Kurt Angle took the challenge after he got smacked. But that started John Cena's career. But this is his very first wrestling figure. Now, if you find this one, and this is the one I'm having trouble finding at a decent Big Texan price, I can only find his figure in a package, and the package is not mint. I mean, the fucking corners are bent. I think the bubble's coming up a little bit, but they still want $80 for it. So I'm not going to pay $80 for a package like that. This loose, I got him with, I think the guy didn't know what he had because he had a bundle, 2 John Cenas, and it cost me $15 for the bundle. Of course, I don't need this one. This is the one that's going to go in the cabinet now. But I'm going to choose quality figures, or the ones that mean more to me than just all the figures. So definitely going to put him in. I'm still going to keep it out on my search for eBay for this mint in the package, but there ain't no way I'm going to pay $80 for it. But that's what I'm going to do. In Series 2, I'm going to start that hunt because Series 2 has the very first Rey Mysterio from WWE. Of course, Rey Mysterio has many of figures in WCW, had many of figures in AAA, the Mexican organization he was in. And that AAA Rey Mysterio, you're talking about a couple of grand if you try to find him mint and package. But Series 2 of Ruthless Aggression also had the very first Batista action figure. So I'm going to try to find that one as well. But that is my haul that I picked up over the weekend. I'm very satisfied with everything I purchased. The new figures, the 3D printed things are just so amazing. I mean, it's just awesome. And then, just little stuff to add to the collection a little bit there. But that is all that I have for you guys. You guys got anything else for the people of our podcast?
No, you should have came by on Saturday. It was fun.
You should have came by. We did have a few people come by that knew us and bought our Garbage Pail Kids, and there's some B-roll of us interviewing Don Simmons and Frank Murphy. Maybe it'll see the light of day. It all depends on how it came across on video. But speaking of video and the podcast, thank you for the numbers from last week's podcast. It definitely climbed more than what we've been seeing as of late. So thank you for the viewership. Please remember to like and subscribe and give us a comment because we love to, get feedback from the videos, and we like to communicate with the fans of the podcast. So thank you, but please subscribe and give us some likes. Help us in the algorithm of YouTube. Be much appreciated.
And the algorithm.
If that is it, right. But all right, guys. Anything else from y'all?
No,
All right. December
You did a
6th.
fabulous job again.
December 6th, next SICW show. But until then, we'll see you at the wrestling shows. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.
Peace.